The Bernina 880 Shaping with Susan Fears.
Hi. Well, the Bernina 880 has a great new feature called shaping. This is an embroidery feature, and we're going to take a look at what you can do with it, introduce the icons, and see how it works. So shaping is a tool that allows you to take an embroidery design, any motif, and turn it into a shape. Circles, ovals, squares, rectangles, stars. You can also work with imported stitches. So from the stitch folder that lives in embroidery, or stitches you carry over from the sewing side, can be put into these wonderful little shapes and then embroidered out. So our shaping icon, it is an embroidery icon. It is the one that is circled on the screen. When you select it, you go to the shaping menu, and you'll see a screen that shows the icons that you're able to see. But you also will notice that there are shapes, and you see one that has a shaded area, and anytime you see a half icon with some shading, that is an indication that there's more. So you would tap on the bar and you would vertically scroll up. There are 9 shapes in all, and you're able to really create some fantastic patterns and arrangements just by using these built-in shapes. You can tell the shaping function how many motifs you want around or on the shape. You can decide what size you want the shape, and you can decide if that size is going to be a proportional size in height and width, such as giving you a square or a circle, or if you unlock that height and width, you can create rectangles and ovals. So it's a lot of really fun things automatically built in for you, such as rotating the motif 90 degrees. Perhaps that's more interesting. Or what if I mirror image alternating motifs? So this is going to take us through our shaping, and we're going to go take a look and see what this looks like. So currently I'm looking at the embroidery screen. When I select my motifs, you'll see a series of folders. Folder number 5 is the folder that has really small designs, and this is put on here so that you can have designs to work with shaping. But you can work with any design that will fit in the hoop. So we're going to select one of our designs from a different folder, and we're looking for this little cute design. Now if I'm going to create some shaping elements, I know I don't have much room here, so let's get a larger hoop to start with, and the oval hoop will work fine for right now. All of your functions and icons live underneath or in the I menu, so let's select the I menu, and here is our shaping icon. When I select shaping, the default shape is the square. Here is that shaded icon, and to move it and scroll to see more, all I do is tap on it and touch it and move. So you're just sliding it, very much like you work with your smartphone. So right now I've got the square. I can place elements on the square, and the red outline means that I have stuff outside of the hoop, which means I need to change the size or change the size of the hoop. So right now I'm just going to change the size of my square, and with the lock engaged, that means that all of my height and my width is changing at the same pace. So I can continue to bring it in smaller until I create other designs. Sometimes you get supplemental designs just by marrying these together. But what does this look like if I start rotating each motif 90 degrees? Do I come up with a more interesting shape or a less interesting shape? Again, continuing to move the size will also give you some other options of whether or not this is a design you might go forward with or not. What if I mirror image every other motif? Well, maybe I need to bring this up a little, or maybe I need to change the rotations a bit. And you can begin to see how easily you can get ideas for motifs that you might want to embroider. So once you find one that you really like, then go ahead and press the check mark, and now you're ready to stitch this out. That is one way to work with shaping and working with motifs. Let's pick up a stitch perhaps, and let's play around with that. So I'm going to go to the I'm going to go to the Stitches folder and select my decorative stitches. There's plenty that you can play with. I'm going to pick this little design here, and I'm also going to change my hoop size again for the same reason, just to give us more space. When I select shaping, I'm at the default square or the last shape used. So I'm going to move this, make this smaller, and then I'm going to start placing my motifs on the square. Since it's a 4-sided unit, perhaps maybe, subsets or multiples of 4 will work better. And again, when I start using my plus 90, I get some pretty interesting looking shapes. You can mirror image every other one, and then this is also where changing the size can really tell you if you want to do more or less. But it's really a lot of fun to work with this in shaping. So what would this look like if I do a circle? Kind of interesting. What if we do the plus 90? And you can start to see how you can really play and get a lot of really fun looking designs. Way too many for the arc. Okay, and then let's mirror image every other one. Change the size a little. Or the upward arc. Then there is the heart. Let's continue to add a bunch of pieces onto here. Turn off some of these mirror image, and you can begin to see how cute this is. Now if we turn off the lock, now I can stretch it out to be a more rounded heart. You can always clear by touching the center, or maybe we want to make it taller. And we can add a few more of these little pieces. What does mirror image on the side, every other one look like? You may like some things, you may not like them, but it's a great way to play and to see what your options are. Again, I've got the disproportional star, and let's play around with our little motifs. I'm going to lock this. Okay, now I have proportional scaling. So it's a great way to play. Let's take a look at some other of our designs, our little hexagon. You can add or subtract more motifs, change the size a little bit. And you can start to see different shapes appear. The spiral, very fun shape. And you can see how you can select to sew this out as each individual element, or if you add more, then you get more options for what this might look like. And a triangle. So you can really get some very fun shapes just by playing with stitches. So let's say that you find one that you like, and I'm going to go back to the square and make this a little smaller. Let's say that this is a great shape that you really like. So you check because you're ready to stitch this out. So these can be shapes that are shapes by themselves, or perhaps you want to add an alphabet. So let's add a letter to this. And then using just your resize tools, you can make this grow until it fits better inside the shape. Using drag and drop, you can move it around a little bit, and to take a look at the whole thing, select the bottommost layer. So that's a very fun thing to do with shaping. Something else that you can do with shaping, let's just select the letter and let's discard this. So just by deleting and moving this off to the side, I've gotten rid of it. This is a shaped object. Let's go back into shaping. Let's select a larger size hoop. And as I add motifs, you can see how I can begin to create shaped things from shaped objects. So this could be a lot of fun to play with. And this isn't going to change very much here. But you can see how you can begin to create shapes that create other shapes and different types of units. So have fun with shaping. This is a great new feature. It's a wonderful thing to sit and just play on your simulator like I've been doing, or right at the machine. And you'll be amazed at all the different ideas that will show up on the screen that you can stitch out and try. So I hope you will enjoy shaping and this great new feature on the BERNINA 880.